Can't do any better than this. Hi, I'm Ken Danjanovich, your host of this edition of Sportsman's News Television. Fellow pro staffer Kevin Orton and I are here with KingFisher's Perch. Jaws Shoes does a wonderful job here with their King Run and Sockeye Run in the months of June, July, and the first part of August on the Clutina River especially, where we'll be spending our time while we're here fishing for King Salmon. Their biggest of the year so far has been 60 pounds. The sockeye should be coming up. They'll be starting to turn red, but they're still a wonderful eating fish in this Copper River Valley. So I know you're going to enjoy this edition of Sportsman's News Television. Well, Josh, we're here on the river the first morning. It's about, what, 4 o'clock?
4 a.m.,
yeah,
yes,
4 a.m.
sir.
First on the water, first on the fish, huh?
Yep, that's right. That's the way it works. You know, early bird gets the worm.
That's right. Tell us the setup we're going to be using this morning for these kings.
Yep, well, talking a little bit of King Salmon theory as far as the Clutina River is concerned. We fish all of our fish from the shore. We utilize the boats to go from hole to hole. And what we're doing is we're drifting eggs. So this is a King Salmon egg sack with a corky. The purpose of the corky has nothing to do with the color. The purpose of the corky is to provide a little bit of flotation for the heavy hooks to help keep them out of the rocks. Now, the pencil lead we attach with a rubber band to our main line above a swivel. Swivel helping keep with lines from getting tangled, same thing a swivel's supposed to do. And the idea is we cast upriver, we allow it to drift with the current, we bring in our slack line, but we want to feel the lead on the bottom. So with the lead on the bottom of the river, what it's going to look like in your rod tip as you follow the drift down is that lead's going to be bouncing on the bottom, bump, 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 bump. And what a rock will do is a rock will hang up your lead and it'll stop moving. Bump, 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 stop. Well, what a fish will do is a fish will pick up your bait and your drift will stop moving. So there's little to no difference at all between the feeling of a rock and a salmon until the salmon swims away. So we treat them the same. Every single time our drift stops moving, we're gonna set the hook. See, oh, there's your first bounce. That's good. A little bit longer. And you're done. Half hard hook set. Now, I like to bring the eye of the bail close to my rod, so when I hold this line, it's nice and tight here. Very common mistake is to be like something like this. Yeah, so you bring your lead to within your rod tip, holding it, nice tight line. We're gonna point our rod tip where we want it to go, which is right on the edge of that fast water. Flipping my bail over, taking in my slack line. Now if you look at my rod tip, you can see it bouncing. That's that lead on the bottom of the river. There, see it stop. Well, okay, it didn't stop wrong. Oh, it stopped. And that's a rock. But if it was a fish, I would have set the hook hard enough and we'd be dealing with a fish. Is that it? Come on. There you go. Walk and run, reel and run. Trail, maybe on the other side. So here we are half a mile downriver. We got the fish stoked up in this deep water. Okay, you can pick up your rod tip, swing it to the right. Watch the stick. There you go. For a little fish, it fought like a big one. Little fresher fish, not much color, real strong. Another average female, probably 25 pounds.
Remember to flip that over. Good. All right, a surprise hook set this time. It was almost right at the bottom of the drift.
stomped it, I kind of gave it a little pop, and realized it was a fish and gave it another. So. Frosty has got a, what'd you figure that one was finally at?
42 pounds.
42.
Take a couple steps back, watch. It's like walking on volleyballs. There you go, and just pick straight up on him now that he's close. There he is. 3 rolls to netting a fish. Huh? 3 rolls to netting a fish.
All right, working up a little bit. 20-pound range again. Well, it's been a very, very productive morning. We've got, between the 3 of us, we've caught, what, half a dozen fish now this morning, ranging from about 18 to 42 pounds. We estimated the biggest one at Frosty caught, so this is, hasn't quite got the color that some of the others have, but boy, great fish, and what a fight in this swift water on the Clutina River in northeast of Anchorage, about 200 miles.
Famous Copper River salmon.
That's right.
Yep, Copper River King.
Whenever you hear about them, this is the place, and I'm telling you, this is the place.
Now pick up that line. If you can keep the drag from slipping on the drag, or on your lip, that means you're gaining on the fish.
Well, I mean, like, I still feel like it's fighting.
Pretty big fish. Yeah. Very nice. It's a heavy fish. It looks right here for just finger boy. I saw him. Yeah. Fishing way out the current. Okay. So, yep, brought it real low. Okay, rule number 1 when netting a fish is you stand downriver of the fisherman. Rule number 2, tired fish. So you never try to net a fish that's just bang, even if he comes in like you think you can get him, wait for him to tire it out because you have a higher chance of losing him. You stab at him with the net when he's not tired. And rule number 3 is never net a fish unless it's head first. You never go from the tail under the fish. You want that fish to turn and go into the net. And if you can't get him to turn and go into the net, it's better for the client to walk it all the way up onto the beach. If the fish never turns, just pull it up on the beach. But most of the time, we can turn that fish and get him to swim into the net. Rotate our rod, Frosty, come up right here. Now see it, the fish can turn downriver and into the net. Beautifully done.
Nice.
Congratulations.
First cast?
Hey.
That was your actual first cast, wasn't it? Second.
See how he's still got a little color to that meat, or color to the skin, but you turn it over? The meat itself is still in great condition. Curl it up a little higher to your face. Nice. Show me the bottoms. Beautiful.
Oh man, these are, it's like holding 20-pound weights.
So Josh, tell us a little bit about your possibility in packages and different excursions you have here at KingFisher's Perch.
Sure. Well, we fish pretty much everything Alaska has to offer as far as salmon goes. We do river fishing for King Salmon and Sockeye Salmon, and then rainbows and grayling as far as our rivers are concerned. And then we have a pretty big operation out of Valdez in the saltwater that encompasses the dog salmon and the cohos, which are also called silvers, as well as halibut and lingcod and black bass and yellow eye rockfish and, you know, the smorgasbord of bottom fish that Alaska has to offer.
Sure.
Probably the favorite package for most guests is something along the lines of a 3 to 5 day package where they fly into Anchorage. They come on out to our location. It's about a 3.5 hour drive from Anchorage, and they stay at our lodge and cabins, and they fish a Clearwater River, the Gulkana. They fish the Glacier River, the Clutina, and then they do a day down to Valdez, which is about a 2 hour drive. and do a day of halibut and silvers. That would be a combo package for a 3-day trip. You know, the rainbows and grayling can be fit in there too. If you got an extra day and you want to go do some lightweight fly rods, we've got a tremendous amount of small fish in some of the headwaters of these rivers. Headwaters of the Klutina's got Dolly Varden as well. So if someone's got a bucket list and they want to put Dolly Varden on the bucket list, you know, we can make for a day up there and do real well up in the Sockeye Salmon spawning grounds catching Dolly Varden.
Now the other trip that really sounds exciting to me as a lower 48 state person with the rainbow trout, you've got a great opportunity even for a float trip for some big rainbows.
Absolutely. Probably the most coveted trip by our guides is who gets the guide to the Upper Gulkana River fly fishing rainbow trip. It's 52 miles of river, and in that 52 miles of river there's nowhere on or off, so it's a camping commitment. It's doable in 3 nights and 4 days as a minimum, but a much more pleasant trip in 5 or 6 days. And in that trip, you know, we provide all the camp gear, all the food, as well as all the fishing equipment, all the flies and everything you need. We do the same kind of guided scenario as we do here on the Klutina, only we're fishing specifically for rainbows. There's a lot of grayling in the river, so if you ever get bored, you can always catch grayling. But we've got some trophy rainbows to 15 pounds, and a high number of them. It's common for a guy to go, I got the best fish I've ever got in my life, I got the most fish I've ever seen in my life, and we saw a grizzly bear and we saw a moose, and we had this outstanding camping experience in Alaska.
Okay, so here's the theory behind what we're doing with the sockeyes. The shallow shelf, they're coming up across the shallow right in front of us, and we can see them like this fish right here that we can see right in front of us. And the deal is, so we're gonna put the lead on one side of the fish and the fly on the other side of the fish, retrieving it upriver to downriver. So if I were the fish, your goal would be to land this on one side or almost in front of my nose, and then as this sinks into the level the fish are at, this line is coming in, and the line hits their mouth.
Because the sockeyes swim with their mouths open.
They swim with their mouths open. Exactly. So what we're doing, the line hits their mouth, and you're pulling it through. Now, it's illegal to snag salmon in freshwater and keep it. This is an area that Fish and Game doesn't know quite how to deal with, because in the mouth is in the mouth. Who's to say it came in from the outside, or if the fish actually bit the fly? Almost never they bite the fly. So we don't call it snagging, we call it flossing, or lining. Lining is the more commonly used term. So what's nice about shallow water lining, which is what we have on the Klutina, different than our Gulkana sockeyes or the Tonsina sockeyes, the Klutina sockeyes, the water is so swift, they run the shallow beaches. And so a lot of times we call it spot and stock, right? Stalking meaning, notice how I ran you upriver? As the fish moved up, we can still see them. So we move up, and then sometimes they get ahead of us. We go back, we run upriver, we get in front of them, and then we set up. And then they come in front of us, we lay it right in front of their nose. The lead landing maybe 8 to 10 inches in front of their face, and 8 to 10 inches on the other side, so that when you're bringing it across, if my lead lands here, as I start to pull it down, by the time it gets to the fish, the line hits the mouth. Because they're swimming like this.
Okay.